everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another foundation review, and today I'll be reviewing the Bourjois Happy Light foundation. Like always, when I start my reviews, I start with a bare face because I'm going to do a demo for you guys first, and also for you guys to see the current flaws that I have on my face. For the past week, I haven't had any breakouts, so for the most part my skin has been really good, besides being quite oily because it's very hot and humid here in London. But I'm going to start with the application first, and then I'll go on to the review for you guys. So I'll be using my F84 to apply this foundation. I've tried with a sponge, my fingers, and different brushes, but today I'll be using this one. So I have shade 52, which is light beige, and I'm going to use about a pump and a half. So as you can see, the foundation is quite runny, so it's not a thick consistency type of foundation, which seems to be very good when it comes to blendability. So I'm going to start by dotting my skin. As always, I always start like this, and I apply the majority of my foundation in the center of my face because it's where I feel like I need more coverage. So I'm going to start by doing down strokes like so, and then I'm going to blend the foundation. Now, if you are a little bit sensitive to scents, I'm not too sure if you'll like this because it has a slight floral scent, which I don't think it lingers for a long time, and it's quite pleasant to me. But if you're sensitive to smells on, your makeup, you may not want to wear this at all. But like I said, it doesn't last very long. It kind of like wears off after a while. So this is the finished look with the first layer, or one layer of foundation. And I would say this foundation is about light buildable coverage to medium, because I can still see all my flaws that I saw before. I'm not sure if the camera's picking up, but I can still see some of the acne scarring that I have. Now, this could be a good thing for a lot of people. For me, it's fine. I like foundations that allow your skin to shine through. Some people like heavy coverage, and I'm not too sure if you would like the first layer because I pumped a pump and a half, and it still shows my skin, which for me is fine, but some people might like it a little bit more heavy. So I'm going to apply another pump to see if the foundation is buildable. For me, one pump is more than enough, or a pump and a half as I did before. But I'm going to use it only in the areas where I feel I would need more coverage throughout the day, because this is where my foundation would start breaking down a lot sooner because of my oily skin. So I'm just going to blend really well on my cheeks. It's where I still see a little bit of my skin peeking through. So this is the finished look with the second layer of foundation. It covered a lot more, but it's still very much a natural type of finish foundation. As you can see, it also has some type of glow to it. So it's more like a foundation that will enhance your skin better than covering, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do now is finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back with the rest of my review. Okay, so I'm back with my makeup all done, and I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty of this review. I'm gonna start right off the back and letting you guys know that I totally dislike this foundation. But please keep an open mind that what doesn't work for me might work very well for you. I've seen other reviews and I've read reviews where a lot of people are really happy with this foundation, but unfortunately it hasn't worked for me. And I'm a huge fan of the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum and the original formula as well. And if you guys are interested in finding out a little bit more of those two foundations, please click on the link below. I'll have a comparison video for you guys to check it out. So let's start with the packaging. It comes in a glass bottle and it also has a pump, which is absolutely fantastic and very well loved. I love foundations from the drugstore that have pumps. I really dislike anything that you need to pour because you just don't know how much product you're going to release. The pump of this foundation is actually quite nice, very controllable. It doesn't even feel like it's cheap, but it is made of plastic. The bottle contains 1 fluid ounce, which is 30 mils, and I'm going to read what it says here. It says Bourjois Happy Light Foundation, luminous and flawless complexion in any light. It has translucent pigments, corrects without masking, light enhancer, and it has 8 hours hydration. Now it has 8 hours hydration, so from that you can already see that it's a foundation that caters more for normal to dry skin and not really combination to oily. I have combination skin in the winter and very oily skin in the summer, so this foundation, either I have to put tons of powder or a very powerful primer. It only comes in 5 shades. The shade that I have here, 52, is like the medium shade, which I think it's so poor for Bourjois because I still believe, and I say this all the time, drugstore brands fail to understand that we come in all shades. So if you are of a deeper skin tone, you will not find a shade that is suitable for you. This is more for somebody who is light, not even fair. I don't think if you're quite fair, you'll find a shade for you, and I'll explain why in a minute. And if you have a deeper skin tone, you won't find it either. Now, I'm an NC30 to NC35 in the summer. If I don't go to the beach, obviously I'll go a lot darker if I tan. I'm not tanned at the moment, and I'm kind of like in between shades between an NC30 and NC35. And the shade range is very complicated if you've already used Bourjois foundations. In the Healthy Mix foundation, I am shade 53 in the winter, and now that they have new shades, I am currently shade 54, which has a lot of yellow undertone and it matches me pretty well. So from shade 54 to this one, I am wearing shade 52, so that's 2 shades lighter. However, this foundation, this shade is actually darker than shade 53 and 54 from the original formula. That to me makes no sense. I find this shade very orangey. It doesn't have, for me in my opinion, yellow undertone, is more orange. I don't know if they had in mind of making a foundation that made you look a lot tanner. I'm not too sure about that. I think my camera's washing me out and the lights that I have here as well, but this foundation makes me look like I'm slightly tanned or orangey. So if you're familiar with those foundations and you are a certain shade, you may have to go 2 or 3 shades lighter to suit your current skin tone. I find it very expensive for what it is. The other ones are all at £10 if I'm not mistaken, and this one is $11.99. I find it expensive, especially because it only comes in 5 shades. The selection is so poor that you either have to buy 2 bottles to try and fit your skin tone, or you may not even fit your skin tone at all. I find it quite disappointing because Bourjois is a fantastic brand, and please keep in mind that I'm not saying that the foundation is bad, not at all, but the shade is the most disappointing part of it, and the undertones of the foundations seem to be, to me, quite concerning, because a medium skin tone shouldn't be orange. It should be more of a yellowish undertone, or maybe just neutral. I just find that this one is a way too orange. When it comes to the blendability of the foundation, as I mentioned while I was applying the foundation, it seemed to blend very easy. But for a thin consistency type of foundation, I thought it would blend so much better. I kind of like feel that this foundation is not a foundation that you can layer. I feel like it will look a little bit cakey. It's been half an hour and only now I feel like it's slightly setting. It has a sticky feeling throughout, and when I was trying to set the foundation with my powder, which is the Healthy Balance, and I love that powder, I mentioned it before, it didn't feel like the powder was going very well on my skin. It felt like the moisture of the foundation was transferring onto my powder. So I changed. I tried to apply with another, setting it with another powder, which was fine. But that particular one, it just looked like the moisture of foundation was transferring onto the powder. I didn't feel like I could contour my face with any of my powders because the foundation felt so sticky that I decided to just apply a creamy blush so it wouldn't feel as sticky, and that's basically it. So I don't have like bronzer or anything, just because I just found the foundation not drying as quick as I expected it. This foundation has no SPF, at least it doesn't state that on the bottle or at Boots website, because that's where I picked this foundation up. That could be a good thing in a sense. If you want to go to a party and there's going to be some flash photography, it might be good because it has no SPF. Or it might be a bad thing if you just wear this during the day and you need to have a little bit more protection. You will have to layer something else like an SPF underneath so you can apply the foundation and be protected from the weather outside. So my final thoughts of this foundation, it's definitely not for me. I am disappointed because I really like Bourjois products, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. I truly believe that if you have normal to dry skin, you might really like this foundation because it gives you that luminosity, and it's great to look quite luminous now in the summer. But if you're oily skin, I would just recommend you to skip this foundation and maybe go for the original formula, which is, well, original formula, the Healthy Mix foundation. So that's basically it on my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Bye.